If Santa Claus was a real person, and instead of going around through the world to decide who was naughty and who was nice, he went around through the world to decide who had genuinely worked hard this year and who hadn't. And the ones who had really worked hard on themselves, never missed a workout, never missed a day's work, was never lazy, never took the short way out, did everything they were supposed to do on time every time, helped the people they care about, networked with their brothers, saved up, got inside the war room, got inside the real world, started to make more money, paid attention, read interesting things, who really genuinely tried, didn't waste any time. Would Santa give you a present? Or would he put you on the naughty list of boys who tried hard most of the time, or some of the time, but not all of the time? Because Santa knows when you are sleeping and he knows when you're awake. He knows it all. And if you're honest with yourself right now, you know that there's been a bunch of times you up, and so does Santa. And the most beautiful thing about this little analogy I've come up with is that Santa is real. His name is God, or the universe. And if you genuinely do what you're supposed to do all of the time, God/universe gives you a present. Isn't that amazing? Just like when you were a child, be good, Santa appears, gives you what you want. Work hard, God appears, gives you what you want. So if you don't have what you want, there's only two possible explanations. One, God somehow got it wrong. Or two, you're a lazy up. And the thing about being a lazy I've often noticed is that most people are not happy to permanently be a lazy up because they are perspicacious and conscious enough to sometimes feel a level of guilt for their mediocre existence. So they'll wake up one day and go, I've got to do better, I've got to change things, I deserve better than this. And because they're pissed off, they'll feel temporarily motivated. But then what will happen is they'll go back into their loser life and they'll find some weed or some stinky puss or a video game, whatever it is. And they'll be happy again. Oh, I smoked weed and I got stinky puss. Yay. And then they're happy. So then what happens is they drift in and out of motivated and then happy. Because if you're truly depressed with your situation, if you're truly unhappy with it 24/7, like you should be, like I was, you won't stay there. You'll get out. If I set you on fire, you're going to do anything it takes to put the fire out. But if I set you on fire and it burns for a few seconds and then for another 2 minutes you don't feel the pain, you're going to stay on fire. And that's what most of you are doing, and Santa is watching you do that, and that's why year after year, nothing remarkable happens in your life. Nothing remarkable happens in your life. Let me repeat that. Nothing remarkable happens in your life. Maybe when my ship comes in, then it will change. If I just sit and wait long enough, God will give me what I want. No, he won't. Because you're on the naughty list. Because you continue to be a loser. When you're a child, Christmas is all about getting things. Give me things, it makes me happy. What presents do I get? As a female or a child, it's all about being given things. But as a man, as you evolve, as you grow, you realize that the only kind of joy you can find that will put you in the Christmas spirit is to be the one who is giving. Which is why on Christmas Day, everyone opens up all these amazing presents and Dad gets socks. Because Dad's worked all year long. Dad has got up earlier than everyone else, worked harder than everyone else, fed the entire family, dealt with most of the stress, was responsible for your financial and physical safety, made sure that nobody murdered you, made sure you had food to eat, and he's done it all year long, and now it's Christmas, and everyone gets him socks. Because nobody gives a about how men feel, and nobody wants to make men happy. Nobody cares. Only person who can make you happy as a man is you. So, what's actually beautiful is that God has instilled within us this natural generosity. Because if the only person who can make me happy is me, and I'm also responsible for making everybody else happy, it's actually quite convenient that the number one thing that makes me happy is giving things to other people. Do the math. It all adds up. You give things to the people you care about as a man via your excellence and achievement. I don't believe you love somebody if you will not suffer for that person. I do not believe you love something if you will not suffer for that thing. If you love tennis, you suffer to be the best at tennis. If you love a person, you're prepared to suffer to protect them. If you love your family, you watching this, Mr. Midwit, Mr. Average, sitting there who says, I love my family, I love Christmas, I love my family around the Christmas table. I would argue the point that you don't love your family. And I'll also argue the point that your family doesn't love you. And the reason I will say that is because if you loved your family, if you truly gave it, about them. You would be instantly and endlessly inspired and motivated to become as brilliant as possible so that you were now useful to them. You show respect to your ancestors, respect to your parents, respect to your little girlfriend who sucks your pee-pee, all the people who are in your life. You show respect to them via a quest for excellence. The better you become and the harder you work shows how much you truly love them. If you had a woman and you truly loved her, truly, you would want to be your best self for her, which means you wouldn't be a skinny, fat little nerd like you are right now. So you don't love her. You may love that she gives you things. She gave you a blowjob once. She'll make you dinner, whatever. But that's childish female love. That's female syndrome. We just talked about it. Being given things is what children and women want. Real men, we don't want to be given that much. What we want to do is show to the people we care about how brilliant we are, and them to remind us of it endlessly. Best Christmas present for me is when one of my wives walks in and says, "You are the closest thing to God I have seen in human form." And she says it with love in her eyes. And I'm like, correct, dinner. That's my present, done. But I gave that to her, as well as giving it to myself. Once again, God has made it extremely convenient for me that the harder I work on myself, the better a present I give to all the people around me. So if you are sitting there at home and you are broke, and when I say broke, I mean less than 10 million, because that's the bare minimum standard. If you are weak, if you are dumb, if you are lazy, you don't love any of the people you think you love. The only person you love, selfishly and absolutely, is yourself. And then what you're going to sit there and do is hard cope. He said, because I don't have muscles, I don't love my family. Correct, correct. Because you could make them if you truly are being excellent, and you don't. The only Christmas present I could possibly hope for many of you at home, is for you to stop being a little up, for you to finally, for once in your life, feel the stinging burn of guilt in your mind when you start to type www.pornhu. There should be a point where you stop and say, no! He's watching. God's watching. This is going to go against me. Christmas is going to come. There's going to be a new message from Top G. The G stands for Christmas. He's going to call me a loser. I'm going to know I'm on the naughty list. God's watching. Santa's watching. Nobody. No! And delete it.
I want you to sit and actually genuinely understand that the universe gives everyone exactly what they deserve, and that you could have been anything and can lose. And you need to work out why that is. Because if you work out the why, work out the actionables to stop it and change it. I don't feel sorry for losers. I have no sympathy at all for you people. When I see how unremarkable you are and how unremarkable your lives are, I understand that that's exactly what you deserve. And the reason why is because you haven't tried very hard.
The thing that makes a man is that he does what he doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to work and he works anyway. He doesn't want to go to war and he fights anyway. He doesn't want to get up, he gets up anyway. That's the whole point of it. You can't sit there as a man and say you don't feel like it. You're not allowed to not feel like it. You're supposed to do it anyway, regardless.